So do you agree with the Cuban government when they said in a recent statement that the Jamaica government yield to pressures from the United States? Hello everybody, I am Kemar and welcome back to another new and exciting episode of Tailored Feed. So today we're going to talk about the Cuban medical mission situation. So as of March 2026, the Jamaican government decided to end a 50-year medical mission program with Cuba. This, of course, have not gone down well with many Jamaicans. You have some on this side saying that the Jamaican government sell out the Cubans who have stuck with us for over 50 years, whilst others, on the other hand, understand and can sympathize with Jamaica's plight. So the Jamaican government is saying that they decided to end the 50-year program over labor legal concerns. According to Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith, the government discovered that payments made to Cuban medical personnel were being made by Jamaica to Cuba authorities in US dollars. But my question is, was this before or after Marco Rubio visited Jamaica? Whilst he was here in a press briefing, a US journalist asked this question.
A State Department envoy yesterday called the presence of Cuban doctors in Jamaica and elsewhere human trafficking. Do you agree with that? Thank you.
So that was in March 2025, almost a year ago, to which Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness responded by saying this.
In terms of Cuban doctors in Jamaica, let us be clear. The Cuban doctors in Jamaica have been incredibly helpful to us. Jamaica has a deficit in health personnel, primarily because many of our health personnel have migrated to other countries. We are, however, very careful not to exploit the Cuban doctors who are here. We ensure that they are treated within our labor laws and benefit like any other worker. So any characterization of the program by others certainly would not be applicable to Jamaica. We are ensuring that our program complies with all the international laws and standards to which we are a party to.
So what exactly changed? Of course, we all know it's geopolitical politics. The US said jump and Jamaica said how high. The United States has long criticized the Cuban medical mission, accusing them of being a form of forced labor and human trafficking.
This is not about the provision of medical assistance. We have no problem with medical assistance. We have no problem with doctors. We have a problem, and I'm not speaking about Jamaica. We've discussed this today about, following international labor standards and the like, but I'm just talking about this program in general, how it's operated around the world. And how it's operated around the world is that basically the doctors are not paid. In many other parts of the world, the doctors are not paid. You pay the Cuban government. The Cuban government decides how much of anything to give them. They take away their passports. They basically operate as forced labor in many places.
And of course, Jamaica benefited greatly from, if we're going to be honest, exploitation. The Cuban government were quick to remind us that more than 800 million patients were treated, over 74,000 surgeries were performed, and around 90,000 lives were saved. But even so, US influence or not, this working arrangement can no longer work. This is in fact the definition of human trafficking.
That their movement in Jamaica was restricted, their passports were being held on to. Yeah, they could not form certain social relationships here in Jamaica. They were, and I think the word used by George this morning was most appropriate, they were in servitude. That cannot be right.
So for many years, the Jamaican government turned a blind eye because we needed the medical experts and the medical techs to help and aid us in our pursuit of better health care. And it's still not enough. So yes, we know that the government full of shit. But what other alternatives did they really and truly have? Do you think for 1 second that what is happening in Cuba is not capable of happening here in Jamaica?
Cuba is right now a failed nation. They don't even have jet fuel to get for airplanes to take off. They're clogging up their runway. We're talking to Cuba right now. I have Marco Rubio talking to Cuba right now, and they should absolutely make a deal because it's really a humanitarian threat.
If Trump were to say any of these three words, embargo, tariff, travel ban, Jamaica would be in serious trouble. So we know that it is, of course, the big stick mentality. We know. But good sense is better than bravado. What are your thoughts? Do you think that we could have handled this situation any differently? Or this is just a sticky situation that we find ourselves in and we all have to just ride the waves? I would definitely love to know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel. And of course, until next time and the next video. See you soon.